Alright, this is just a video about my November, um, a review of my November, my progress, how my trading went, my mistakes, my other mistakes like psychological mistakes, just anything that applies to trading, and then the things that I've learned and the solutions to the mistakes that I mentioned, as well as just completing this to-do list. Um, You can see here my November has been very empty. I did take a lot of time off, and that was due to some tilts. So going back to October, you can see I was a lot more active, and come November, wait, where's the end of October? November, there's barely anything on my P&L calendar. Um, I was I really slacked off on. Well, I took a lot of days off. That's the thing. I took tons and tons of days off. More than probably 80%. Probably about 80% of the month I didn't trade. Though there were days I didn't complete my report cards or anything. And that's exactly part of the reason why this month went the way it did. Um, I think I got into a drawdown into the end of October after getting a payout. Um, got out of the drawdown, went back into a drawdown, got back out of it, and then actually started to do pretty well and had some P&L on the accounts, um, and then just went on tilt again, and now I'm back to basically where I started at the end of October, but now I'm technically in a drawdown because there's a trailing drawdown, but I would just be kind of break even. But due to the funding rules, then yeah, technically I'm in a drawdown, because now I owe back myself the money that I lost from my profit. So, anyways, yeah, I mean, mistakes was not completing with pure discipline, which should be the rule, which should be the minimum, my DRCs. Um, those are even more important than my write-ups, I would say, because that's exactly everything I need to have a good trading day is with a DRC. And if I'm not doing that, then cool, cool, you did a write-up, but that's after the fact. So DRCs happen during the trade, or before the trade, and then right after. So DRCs are more important, and I really slacked off on those. Um, yeah, that was definitely a mistake. Another mistake was, yeah, but just kind of the same thing, just trading without completing a clear PA plan where I deep dive into the higher time frame, basically a top-down analysis. Let's just say that clear top-down. So basically the same mistake, just not doing the DRC because that's in my DRC. So just really that is basically the biggest mistake. I mean, there's days where it's just a good time to take a break, and that's good. And because I do tilt and I'm still working on that, I know that's going to take some time to really master that psychological aspect of trading, which just shows that I am getting better. Like I know it's going to take time. So before I'd get so upset when I got tilted. And I still do, but not nearly as bad. So yeah, that's actually some progress I've made is not getting as down or excited about winning or losing streaks. Um, took lots of breaks, which did stop complete blowups. In the past, I would have let this get out of control. But I made multiple pivots from bad losses. And these are bad losses, like way big, way too big. And that's always been my issue is letting it's not just that one big loss. It's the losses that follow that too. Because now I'm like, shit, I'm in such a deep drawdown. I really messed up. I suck at this, man. I just can't get this, and then I just end up turning it into some sort of revenge FOMO thing that happens. So just tilt. And that happened multiple times, and I was able to stop it, though it initially still shouldn't be happening, but I still was able to stop it, and I was still able to actually completely reverse it several times last month, which is crazy. That's crazy to do that multiple times in a month. I'm really proud of that. So, really proud of the fact that I was able to really to to completely reverse my bad trading back into decent back into sorry my tilts into a good mindset, which is a profitable. Only once, but 3 times. Yeah, to have that sort of mental flexibility, that's crazy to me. Like, wow, go me. But I mean, definitely needs work though. Not gonna get all excited. But that's just progress to me. That's huge progress to be able to do that multiple times in a month. Before that would take me like multiple months just to get out of like one really bad like losing streak, which did end up into a full blow up where I blow the accounts, I'm not funded anymore, I get to a payout and I blow all of it. And not only all of it, I literally blow the entire account and have to start from square one again. That didn't happen. I was able to claw out of drawdown, though the drawdown should be happening, but that shows some real maturity in that aspect of my trading, which has and always been the real thing standing in my way. Um, a year ago, it definitely was like my strategy. Like there were still so many nuances I needed to work out, like SMT, like how to really nuance, like what's an important SMT, like, and not only that, like understanding the price action too. Like I would say a year ago, I would be profitable at times, you know, but then my not only my psychology mistakes were there, but then my analysis too needed work. So before I thought it was like maybe 70% accuracy, but given a few more months, you look at my P&L and like the read on my price action, it's probably 60, 70. Still pretty good. Um, but I would say I've increased my like the what I like my read on the price action and like the draw on liquidity and the order of things that's going to happen if I follow my process is it's honestly like 90%, but it's more like, 80 just just giving that I do make mistakes sometimes just because I misread things and, like in math you forget to carry the one or you forget to subtract and you add stuff like that. There's always going to be errors and we're trying to fix that, but yeah, I mean, I am making not only the last 6 months, it's very clear that my trading is and my analysis is consistent and it is high probability. So my model works, my trading system works, my strategy works, and now it's just my discipline and my risk control I know what to do with my risk. I mean, there are a few more nuances I need to develop into that, which I actually have a plan for. I need to do that still today. But at the end of that, it's really just the discipline and the psychology that ends up uh, basically ruining that edge that I get with my strategy. So yes, that's all. It all works. There are things I can still do better with my model. There are still things I can do better with my trading setups and my read of the price action and understanding price and all that stuff, like fundamentals, knowing those. Um, and that's a constant thing. But the thing really holding me back clearly, and if I had in a in a vacuum, if I fixed that, I would be so freaking profitable. Like I would be enormously profitable. And obviously that's the fucking hardest part of trading. So that's why most people actually do win. They do have more than a 50% win rate if they just start trading, you know, with their setups because it's pretty you can create um you can skew the probabilities. But the problem is your risk control, you lose more than you make and all that stuff. So anyways, yeah. So yeah, really proud of that. I've really grown with my mental flexibility, and just part of that is me being aware of myself and learning about myself, specifically like how I learned about how um, I really do get influenced by like the mindset that sometimes my girlfriend has. Um, you know, not like 100%. I'm not just like a weed in the wind. It's more like, it does the stressors in my relationship or that does end up playing a role in my trading and then boom, you take a loss, you take another loss, something's wrong in the relationship and something else stressful outside of the relationship. So those things all add up, and so having those things squared away for me has been you know just working on my own relationships, um, dealing with those as they happen instead of waiting or whatnot. And then also for me, the way I'm able to deal with them personally is for my own mental emotional state has been, um, taking breaks has been a big one. Just getting that perspective, and then on top of that, uh, running and meditating. Those have been huge. Um, I don't need to run every day. I don't need to meditate to be able to fix these things. But if I do those things while I'm trading and as my system works and as I progress, those things actually help me to have that edge over those things that I struggle with, in all our personal lives. So, yeah, okay, cool. Other trading mistakes. Not completing period discipline trading. Okay. I have. There's been a little nuance. Um, so this one is basically I am just trading outside of my time frame is basically all that it really is. Um, oh, and trading. Yeah, so that's basically more of a way to put it. I'm just gonna write both. Um, there are days I'm like I shouldn't trade today. It's the lower probability, but I don't actually weigh it out in my head and be like if I am gonna trade, because sometimes I just want to and it's okay. Like there still are setups. It's just harder and I can make money and I can do well on those days and I know and I trust myself to. The only way I can do that is first of all, if I do all my system, have a plan, create a setup opportunity, blah 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 blah. But on top of that, adjusting my risk. And on top of that, staying within the time because then I take a loss during my good time frame because I made, something for whatever reason. But then I end up taking trades, it's an hour past the open and news has already happened. There's nothing else the rest of the day. Why the heck am I trading at 10 a.m. that or 10:30 or 11. If anything, there might be an opportunity at 11:30 New York before lunch, but that's like there's no news. That's not the open. That's like a time to either get out of a trade, which is usually what I do. That's usually my time frame to get out, or to if I am gonna look for a trade like a third of the size of my regular size, or even less. And at that point, it's like, dude, you're not even gonna make that much money to make it worth it, especially with the mental stress. So why are you even trading it? So yeah, just really gotta work that out. The solution to that is create a note of risk measures weighed to time and day for probability probability. Yeah, so just simple note like for example, okay, if it's news and it's at the open or if it's at the news time, full risk. Pass the open, um, or not directly into news, but at a key time, half risk or 2/3 of risk, because if it's really clear, a clear setup, or something like that. Just like a list of those risk rules. That way, it's like automatic. I don't have to think about it. It's just all right. Remind myself what is the rule, and then I break it, and it's like okay, I know I'm clearly breaking a clear rule that's written right in front of my face. Then that'll make it easier for me to follow it. So that's the plan for that. Um, Another solution is no trading unless you have completed a DRC or weekly game plan or pre-trade plan video. Plan risk too on top of that. So kind of the same thing as this one for that part. But yeah, not trading, just completely avoiding trading unless I have a very clear plan. Obviously, that's just I already know that, but I need to just write it down because that's exactly what just discipline has been lacking with. So just gotta just gotta actually do it. That's the thing. Um, the lessons you can get out of a drawdown very fast, so don't stress and no pressure, and it will come when it comes. What other things maybe I've learned? Um, Adjusting risk really helps because it does put things into perspective. Because it's like if you're gonna, because trading is all about weighing value, like expected value. That's literally like the thing in trading, EV. So it's like when you adjust risk and you're like, okay, I really like emotionally, you're like, man, I need to trade this, even though it's lower probability, you have that mental, thing where you just want to trade, but then you follow your rules, right? And you're like, okay, I really want to trade and I'm gonna trade this. It's a setup. It looks good, but then there are things, tailwinds against you or headwinds against you, and you're just too emotionally wanting to take the trade. When the rule says to only risk $100, it's like, oh, well, maybe I don't want to take this because if I'm only gonna risk $100, it's not even worth my time stressing about this. I could go do something else with my trading. I could enjoy life and come back tomorrow with a fresh, relaxed mind because I just took a break. So that smaller opportunity, when you weigh it correctly, is really kind of eye-opening because now you're like, well, it's not even worth it. Like, if I'm only gonna make that much money, and it's like there's all these factors that are against it, I genuinely like don't even care, you know, because if you're risking a quarter, and it's like you're spending 2 hours working on this trade and figuring it out, and you know there are a few factors against you, and you still want to take it because it just looks too good. It's like, oh well, you can only make this much on it anyways. Just who cares? Just go, come back tomorrow, have a higher probability setup, or wait till next week and take the week off. So it's just that makes a lot of sense to me because that's kind of how I see life a lot of ways like that. There are things I'm like, that's just like, that sounds fun, but like driving there, I don't want to have to drive there. I don't want to have to fill up the gas. I don't want to pay the gas to get there. It's just like, we have those value, um, where we weigh whatever, how we evaluate the value of like something through all the different measures. Like, yeah, like how I just said. So that's really, I always do that. So to me, having that in place for my trading, I think will really, really help me. And um, yeah, that makes me excited to create, my little system, my sticky note for my risk rules. I already know them, but it's more like I just need to have them in eyesight so that I can just have something blaringly telling me that I'm like breaking a rule. Like if someone came up to you while you're trading and they're like, you broke your rule when you just got in. That's like, oh, crap. That might help you get out of your bad trade if it's a bad one, or do it the correct way. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Anything else? Maybe just a quick review on. I think that's about it. But I'll do a quick review on my. This I'll just do on my weekly analysis next week. So, but oh, you know what? I will do my 5-year game plan wherever it is. Is it I think it's my goal tracker. There we go. So, I mean, this is just very rough. This is just exactly like, it's just a layout that I would like to get to, and it's realistic, I think. So, Q4, October, so far got a payout now, 30K down, just 40K. Oops. Of up and down in November. I really need to get back into a good trading routine since I didn't do my DRCs, etc. But huge improvements in my flexibility, mentally getting out of tilts and drawdowns. So sticking December can still December still has a lot of opportunity for me to still well, yeah, my goal was to get 300 reps, so I completely failed that. Still get in at least 50 reps. Well, Yeah, that's the problem is I really forgot about this goal and stopped doing it. Finish the ICT core content. Yeah. 40 EOQ edit border. Okay. Okay, 40K, that's right now 4 times 7. What's that? Okay, 15, 30K. Yeah, 40K in drawdown. That's exactly what I will be at. I could easily be at that right now. But I'm actually going to consider that goal not as important because hmm, I don't know. Maybe I should just do that. 40K in drawdown. I might just do that a different way though. Yeah, I'm just gonna rethink some of these goals. But yeah, I'm on track to finish this. Um, I do need to stop eating so much here. Um, but yeah, just going forward, 2025, the first quarter. Yeah, my goal is to withdraw 20 grand. That'd be cool. And to me, that's very realistic. Um, yeah, and then goals max out funded apexes. That's gonna change. Yeah, these need to be changed. That's exactly why I'm doing this. But yeah, I'm gonna do that on my own. But yeah, yeah, cool. There's the little review. I mean, very simple. It's mostly just me talking, so this is like a little video journal, I guess. And other than that, yeah, that's all I would really want to do for this video at least. So yeah, adios.